Hi, it's Dean Yo from Real Estate Dynamics, and I'm here today, as you can see, at the agency, and I'm with Matt LaHood. Now, for those of you that don't know Matt LaHood, who is Matt LaHood? What have you been doing?
Thanks, Dean.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nothing overly special, let me tell you. 30 years in the real estate industry, left school, went straight into real estate as a junior leasing consultant.
Yeah.
In a suburb called Randwick in Sydney, near the racecourse. Built up a little bit of a following of landlords there. That was a natural progression from property management into sales.
Yeah.
Went into
was that 2 years, I think?
Yeah, went into sales when I was 19.
Yeah.
Had to
19-year-old in Randwick
had
in
to
sales.
arm wrestle my boss to let me go into sales, but because I thought I had the gist of selling the new business side of property management. I was getting really good numbers in, and it was a really good entree if anyone's looking to get into real estate to be a new business consultant. Where the numbers were smaller, there was less risk. So I'd then go into sales, and that way you could get it was like getting a wage as well, where, you know, today obviously it's commission only based business sales. So that was a good way to sort of low risk me to enter in. Anyway,
on that point, that was also that you got to know the area, people got to know you,
got to know
and
the
you were
streets.
growing that on somebody else's coin.
And really, absolutely, really good thing, Dean. It was win-win because the boss paid me, but I grew his rent roll dramatically.
Yep.
Then I went into sales, and a lot of my immediate clients were my past landlords. Which my boss liked because I nurtured the relationship there.
Yep.
And then off the back of that, leveraged. Quickly became apparent to me that business is all about people.
Yep.
So if I could create a following under my personal brand within the team, I'd be the natural choice in the area for somebody to call. So that's sort of where I went down that path.
That's like 28 years ago we're talking.
Yeah, 28 years ago.
We're still talking that.
Didn't know what I didn't know then,
important.
but it's the same thing. Nothing's changed in the industry. It's all about people.
Yep.
You know, basically, and what the internet's allowed the agents to do now these days is their brand, as in their personal brand, is out there in addition to the team that they work with. So, and that's sort of one of the theories behind our business, that, you know, the brand is the brand up on the wall there, but it's not, the brand doesn't look after the client. The client the agent looks after the client. The brands and the back end of the business supports the agent to give them clear runway, the best skills, the best technology, the best learning, the best coaching, to be able to go out there and give the best service to the client. Because it's the agent that's in the lounge room to 10 o'clock at night. So they're our clients. We look at it like the agents are our clients. So I want to do everything I can for every agent that works with us and our management team to make sure they're at their absolute best and they're the most successful in their life, not just in real estate they can be. That way, when they go out on the field, they're giving the best service to the client.
He's jumped the gun and he started talking about the agency. I want to focus more on you. So you've gone from property management across to sales.
My story's pretty simple, right? That's why I'm sort of veering away.
Yeah, no. But we want to lay a platform. At the end of the day, we want to say, well, you then went across. You've spent 20 years in McGrath.
20 years at McGrath. Great 20 years. Worked closely with John and made a lot of friends in the company. And that was probably
made a lot of people a lot of money. You're a sales manager as well. You had more than anyone in Australia, had more people that were earning over $1 million as salespeople.
Look, one thing I did have was a bit of a following about growing people, because that's what I'm about. You know, I grow people around me. They then want to help me get to where I want to get to. It was never about me. I actually took a pay cut to go and be a sales manager. When I didn't really want to do it, but the team around me were saying, "Well, we want you to manage it. We want you to manage it." So
it was a natural progression.
In hindsight, in a sense, it didn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I still had my old clients coming in, and I was just taking like a little referral off them. And so I did 5 years in sales at McGrath first. Then I was asked to go in and look after the company sales team and grow that. 15 years of working in the company sales team. We built a really good business, exceptional bunch of people. Got to work with John closely, which was awesome. And we built a really good sales team in there who become really good friends too. And a lot of them are still friends today. Some of them are working with us, some of them are working in other companies, some of them are still at McGrath. So it's all there. There's a high respect for each other, because we all had each other's back and things like that. And it's important because it's a bit of a lonely business, real estate sales, right? You're out there with your vendor and it's war. It's sort of in the market with the buyers, and you're at war with the competition and all that sort of stuff. But you really need to be supported by the team you're in.
Which is another point we'll go down the track of, as far as that it is, you want them all to be able to work together back there, that it's really like not a saviour, but it's like a sanctuary that you can go back and you can feel supported.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, one of the things I created sort of 15 years ago is I used to have this circle I called the winner's circle.
Yeah.
And we just get together. There was no formal. I just created it because there was 6 people were asking me questions and stuff a lot of the time. I said, let's just get together every Friday at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
We'll get 10 coffees. We'll put them in a row. Everyone can have their coffee. We'll sit down. We'll just ask everyone each other questions. The answer's probably in the circle.
Yep.
So we did that for a long time, and that became the unofficial sales meeting we ended up doing.
Oh, really?
So we said, do you want to just make a formal sales meeting? I'll put an agenda. We'll have this, and we'll just ask her the same questions. So. When I run a sales meeting, I actually get the sales team to tell me the agenda they want, rather than me setting the agenda.
Why would they share that though?
Because
what makes it different?
Then they'll come if they want to see what they've if they're getting what they want out of the sales meeting, they'll then turn up to it.
Yep. Okay.
That was the theory behind it. All my sales meetings I ran for years were always standing room only.
Yeah.
But I used to say to everybody, they're not compulsory.
Was that standing room only because a standing room only is a faster meeting?
Possibly.
No, but you just stand in the room.
Probably true too, you know.
Yeah.
No, but the reality was everyone would say, how do you get your... People in other offices would ring me and say, how do you get everyone to come to your sales meeting? We can't get people to turn up. You know, the contractors, they work... I said, because what I did is got them to set the agenda.
Which is perfect.
I then put the content they wanted in, and then I kept it short, and I said it wasn't compulsory, and I said, I'll give you one guarantee that when you leave my sales meeting, you'll leave it with something more than you came in with.
Yep.
So when I got that commitment, everybody used to come to the sales meeting.
Yep. Now all of a sudden you left.
Yep.
So you left McGrath. Finished McGrath, 20 years there, and you come and worked at the agency, and you're now the CEO.
Yep.
Well, that was your role.
Yep.
Why?
Why did I leave, or why did
both?
So why did I leave?
We won't talk about McGrath's having some challenges now. They're on the front page of the paper.
McGrath's a fantastic brand. John's outstanding at what he does.
That wasn't
the
where
direction,
but I think it was just you personally.
I need to say that because that's how I see it.
Yep.
The reality of it, the way the direction was going was different to how I felt it should be going.
Yep.
That was a year and a half ago. And that, right or wrong or indifferent, that's up to people to decide.
Sure.
So I'm all about the people.
Yep.
I'm all about the individual. I'm all about growth of the individual. I'm not about the brand. I'm not about my interest, the company, where it's going in that sense. Yes, there has to be a bit of... If I can assure the agent has got everything they need and they're getting to where they're going to get to, this business will survive for a long time at the end of the day. Because that's how we actually built the sales team in the beginning where I was.
Yep.
So I knew what I needed to do. And when I just couldn't flex and... look, I think today, Dean, like this business, this brand is very flexible. It's because I think we look at it like this. It's agent first, the customer and the brand last. I'm not about having the brand in everyone's face.
Yep.
The brand's the vehicle.
Yep.
Okay, it's behind the agent to help them get to where they get to. Our customer's the agent, right?
Yep.
If I can get them exhilarated, skipping to work, really happy, their customer is the client.
Yep.
I need that. I need the agent to be on their A game to go out and look after the client.
Yep.
See, other people look at it differently. They go brand first, customer second, agent last. Unfortunately, the brand isn't sitting in the
Very
lounge room.
interesting distinction.
The brand isn't sitting in the lounge room. It's not the one that's got the currency. The customer is very important, but if they're not getting looked after, the brand's irrelevant.
Very true.
There's damage to the brand.
Yep.
So I've just tipped it up. I've gone, all right, okay, so the agent is our client.
Yep.
I get them happy, skipping to work, the best version of them they can be. They'll go out to their client having the best technology, the best training, the best tools, high energy, being like transparent, best tools, best negotiation skills in the market, skipping to work, good energy. They'll then go out to their clients. Clients will feel amazingly treated. The brand will then get the recognition.
So hence, they approached you wherever it came. You basically then left McGrath.
They approached me. So we've got a brand. We want to move to the East Coast. They started in Perth.
Yep.
And they said, we think you're the person that can do it.
Yep.
There was some people that knew me in the brand for a long time and watched my career.
Yep.
And they really chased me. I had a number of other offers on the table at the time from international companies, some local companies. I was very flattered, actually, that people had sort of watched what I've achieved. And I didn't go into this ever wanting to do this role or be a sales manager. I was just going to be a real estate agent. It's all I wanted to be since I was this high. And I wanted to sell houses, and I loved big homes, and I love advertising, and I love meeting people at the homes, and I love getting a result for an owner. That was where the passion is.
Yep.
Still there today. I love seeing people, happy with what you do for them, and how you look after them. So that, to me, is just translated to the agents now. It's no different at the end of the day. But Dean, I guess like what actually happened then, I looked at the model, and they had the same philosophy of where I saw the market was going. Because I left out of my role because I felt that the agents we needed to change where with the internet, as I said before, it's been a vehicle that's allowed the agents to actually have their own brand in the market.
Yep.
Right? So our motto is brands don't sell, homes people do.
Yep.
That's actually what we believe in. So
brands don't sell,
homes people do. So because people would ring me often and they'd say, "Oh, Matt LaHood, I've been referred to you by." Now, if I was in XYZ real estate, or
that was secondary,
they're not interested. They actually weren't even interested,
yeah,
because they'd been referred to me by someone else had a personal experience. So I thought that was interesting. So look, it's important. I think a brand has some identity for the rest of your team and what they work under. There's a philosophy. There's generally a rule. There's a culture in there, but the culture is created by the people that you bring in and how they're trained. So the brand doesn't actually design the culture. The people are the keeper of the culture.
Yep.
So if we train the people to be the keeper of the culture, the brand gets its own identity because of that.
Yeah.
Right. So rather than saying here's a brand, what does it stand for?
Yeah.
The people are the brand at the end of the day, right? So instead of how in real estate, because it's a very personal business, we're not selling a product. Like if it's Apple, they've got an iPhone, I walk in there, I don't care who sells it to me.
But we do sell a product. What is our product?
The product's property.
Yeah.
And service. So the product, but here's the problem in real estate, Dean. That product, the person purchasing it doesn't have a loyalty to the person selling it.
Yeah.
So the loyalty from the buyers is to who's got the house.
Yep.
So if it's XYZ Real Estate, KZW, Harry Smith Real Estate, whoever's got the house has the loyalty from the buyer.
Yep.
Right? So
but what about the loyalty as far as between the seller and the agent?
That comes from their experience and their style of service and how they've performed historically, and also too from their client base. So effectively, everybody that's in real estate now that's been in it for quite a bit has a bit of a following, right? Some have got a bigger following than others. Some have got a smaller following, but they have a following, and that is now worth money in terms of, because that's a consistent. It's like they know if they turn up in 12 months, they keep in touch with their past clients. They're active in the market. They're going to get so much repeat and referral business just for turning up. If they get smart about it, they build a database, build a network, get in the community, do all the other things, then they'll become a serious brand. Now that sort of person is who I believe in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years is going to control the market. I believe there'll be agents like with super teams, and they'll be the brands in the market, the super teams. So and whether they conglomerate under one brand or however it is, but the super teams will control the market. It's the way the real estate business is going.
So super teams, i.e. one individual, but then a number of sales agents, buyers agents, that sort of,
exactly right. Because Dean, if you look at today, the service of real estate is you can't be one single agent and really do the best for the client. It's impossible. Let's look at the process. Take the photos, get on the internet, answer all the internet inquiries, take all the phone calls, do all the callbacks, pest and building inspections. It's like what we're saying now. It's become that. It's specialised. I'm looking at it like it's like a surgeon, right? So a surgeon comes in, they do an operation, but you don't see them there 3 hours before, like sweeping the floor, checking the lights, adjusting the scalpel. And when they do the operation, they leave. You don't see them after they're cleaning up the body and stitching or whatever. They do their bit and then they finish, right? So reality. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Could have said like stitching up a toe or something, couldn't I? But where I was going was if you're trying to go in, sweep the floor before, get all the scalpels ready. I think, oh, hang on, the operation's here, let's do it. Then go, okay, just the next one coming, but I've just got to do this. That is in my view.
So the specialist space of this is the person that does the photography, this is the one that does the marketing.
Copywriting. You cannot do all that yourself anymore because of the mediums where people are getting social medias. You've got to run your social media, you've got to do a database, put a newsletter out. If you look, there's a direct correlation between the highest performing agents all across Australia, and I'm in every market, right? So I'm in Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, soon to be, or in Queensland now, soon to be in, looking at Adelaide expansion soon too. But I'm everywhere, so I can tell you in every state, the highest performing agents have a team.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you've been around a long time. You moved across to the agency. That appealed to you, where it wasn't going in the direction you wanted as far as McGrath.
Yep.
The agency is. The agency puts the agent first, and you've said before you work for the agent in that sense.
Yep, we do. Our whole management team's job is to create the best environment for the agents.
And remove black clouds.
That's it, remove black clouds, roadblocks.
Now, for those that don't know what black clouds or roadblocks are, what are black clouds?
If somebody's having
have them.
Yeah, if somebody's having a bad day, or I think it's our duty as leaders to be able to get them out of that blow the black cloud away from their head.
Black clouds away.
You know, people walking around with black clouds over their head because that infects the rest of the team, first of all. The other thing is, when they go to a listing presentation or they're showing a buyer through, the people are buying their energy.
Yeah.
So if you've got a black cloud, the vendor's going to see that.
Yeah.
The buyer's going to see that.
Yep.
Your colleagues are going to see it. Your pipeline sellers are going to see it.
Yep.
If you're going to a listing, they're going to see it when you open the door. The person's got a black cloud over there. Roadblocks are things like stupid things that are put in agents' ways because for some reason they were designed. Nobody can tell you why. And we just drove a train through that and we started this business up. Yep. Everything that would stop an agent doubling and tripling in their business, or stop a client doing business with, even stop an agent joining me, right? I've removed every single layer of those things in this business to make it really easy to do business with us.
Yeah. Which is really interesting because it's probably over 10 years ago now, but if you look back on when Virgin Australia came in, they were the new kids on the block and they started basically from scratch.
Yep.
And they had a huge advantage because they didn't have all these legacy systems where they had, say, all maintenance was down in Sydney and it was close to here, where they said, no, it's cheaper for us to do it in Brisbane, and we can because we knew.
That's it.
And so they took some of the good stuff with some of the people and put it in and started afresh. So I guess that's a really good point. I've had 30 plus years, 20 of those in McGrath, a number of those, helping, and let's not get away, helping build some really amazing teams of people. Yeah,
I've learned a lot.
And then I've moved that potentially across to do the same thing here.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, the thing that, I've been very lucky with is I've made a lot of mental deposits, I guess, in people's, in their bank accounts mentally.
Yeah.
So a lot of deposits in people's mental bank accounts, I meant to say. And I mean that by when they needed someone and I felt like I could assist, I was there not for benefit of me. I've never been there for benefit of me. Anybody that'll tell you that's worked with me, it was never about, well, what's in it for me. I've given more commission away to agents than I've actually made in the whole,
But that's a long game.
I never had an agent for people. Every co-agent could sell my houses. I couldn't care less. I give them half the commission. And I always was able to return favours when I needed them. If I had a buyer on an external agent's property, they were like, Matt, just whatever you do, just take it. I had the same. And when I started managing people, it was the same thing. I could get agents, I guess, to do things that they wouldn't do for anyone else because I had the currency. Because you made that
deposit in there.
The currency. So somebody'd ring up and say, such and such. So I'd leave it to my mate, phone call, bank was done. And only for the fact that the currency was there. They said, well, if Matt's ringing me and saying you should be doing it, they knew it was in their best interest. That's the difference, Dean, right? In the real estate space. So many things are done for the brand. It's not in the best interest of the brand. We need to protect the brand, this, that, and it was not always the best thing for the client, and always was not normally the best thing for the agent. Let's chip them on this, chip them on that, fees on this, fees on that. Make it harder to do business. It's already hard enough to do business as it is. It's a competitive business. I need to make it really easy to do business.
So, in summary of that, we've got a very experienced person at the helm of the agency. You're expanding. You've got financial backing behind that as well. So hence, you're coming to Queensland as well.
We're standing in the Broadbeach office.
We're standing in the Broadbeach office. Brisbane obviously is next.
Soon, very soon.
So if anyone's interested, please get in touch with Matt from that side.
Absolutely.
You've also today was really to try to help you get an understanding of who is Matt, who is the agency, and why should we care. Well, I think there's certainly some reason to care from that sense. I think that change is it's exponential of how much things are changing. And I think that a fresh approach from that sense, but a fresh approach on not old legs, but on seasoned.
I'm surrounded by very smart people too, and the last thing I'm ever going to be is the smartest person in the room. One thing I learned years ago: if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I have a meeting every Monday morning at 10 o'clock, and I can tell you I don't speak much in it, which for those that know me will find that unusual. Right? I listen. I want everyone else to tell me what they need, and I look at it as I'll go and deliver it. Just tell me what you need. I'm not here to tell you because you guys are in the field. Right? I'll go and deliver what you guys need. You just tell me, is it that operating system? Is it this? Is this different meeting? Is it that location? What have we got a problem with this? Give me everything. I'm working for my managers too. Even though they're reporting through to me, I'm working for them. I want them to not come in with black clouds either.
No black clouds.
Exactly. If they know I've got my support, but I just wanted to end, Dean, too, because a lot of the interviews and things you see over the years, and they're talking about, okay, let's get the GCI in, let's squeeze it, let's 4X, let's 10X, it's all this sort of fluff stuff around out there in the market. What I wanted to talk about is one thing I've been quite successful at, which I want to share, is outside of real estate. So I've been married for 22 years, got 2 kids, 19 and 17. I've got all my friends from kindergarten. I've got all my friends in real estate since I started. I catch up regularly with my family. I think for everyone watching, don't get caught up in the, it's all about GCI, it's all about how am I going to 2X and 4X. You have another life outside of real estate, right? And I couldn't do what I did if I just had to think and dream and do real estate all my life. I just couldn't do it, right? Because there's nothing else when I go home. What am I doing it for? Sort of thing. And I've got some really close friends I catch up with regularly. And I've made a point of catching up with them, like virtually put appointments in my diary now to make sure I catch up with them, because they were there when I was in kindergarten we went through school together. I've got a lot of cousins that always want to catch up with me as well. So I kept in touch with everybody. And the big thing for me, what that's done for me, is I'm still mixing with the people that were at the level where I was. So my friends have all grown in different areas in their lives and whatever, some financially, some not, but it keeps you on the ground because you're still with the same people. And I've noticed a lot of people get success in this business and they think they don't want to mix with people that
they're above
it. And I think that's the demise of people. The other thing is too, Facebook, LinkedIn, videos, podcasts, texting is all fantastic. For me, I always ring people. If somebody texts me, I ring them. Somebody Facebook messages me or LinkedIn's or whatever, I ring them. I get more currency because you know why I ring them? I can
really
actually hear how they're feeling.
Do they have a black cloud through
exactly
the phone?
Right. Well, everybody's so connected today, but everybody's actually so disconnected. Right? I've got more currency picking up the phone and calling people because people think you're busy and that, and they go, like, oh, I don't want to bother you. And I say, no. I texted you, right? Because I didn't want to bother you. No, I say bother me. I want to be bothered by you, right? Because if people stop bothering me, if that's how you think it is, I might as well pack up and go home, right? So ring me, talk to me. I want to talk to you. I don't care when it is, what time it is, whatever, because that's what I'm here to do. I think as leaders, we've got to be accessible.
I agree with that. And I think there's one final point that was made last time that we caught up was the ability of which you have the difficult conversations is your ability of how successful you're going to be.
100%.
So just give me 30 seconds on that.
So we call them hard conversations, crucial conversations. A lot of people avoid conflict, right? I'm not about creating conflict, but as a leader, you have to have the hard conversation, right? Otherwise, I've just found I've had the most people I reckon I've had that have the most respect for me today in the company I'm in now, outside, are the ones I've probably had some of the hardest conversations with.
Because you've called it as it was.
The other thing was too, Dean, some people can't see sometimes they're off track. And everyone skirts around it because it could be the biggest rider or something. And I'll actually have the conversation. I'm fearless when it comes to having those conversations because I've found that was my training with the vendors. A lot of agents, if they go and they miss the pricing of the property and they won't go and have the conversation. I've actually gone and put my hand up a number of times and said, look, Mr. Smith, I think I've missed the price on this. And often the vendor's gone, well, Matt, you know what? We were really surprised. We were hoping you were going to get that, but we didn't think it was worth that.
But
and they've actually got
piece.
It's a respect thing. So you adjust it, sell it, move on, rather than sort of this business about trying to manipulate the price by saying we haven't got anyone coming through. I don't want to play games. I don't know how agents do it. I just don't want to play games with vendors. They're paying you to get the best result.
Yep.
If you miss the result, often I've sold them at a lower price than what I may have thought I could have got.
Yep.
It doesn't happen much, but over the time it's happened. And it's ended up being a big price in a couple of months later.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've said to me, I've had vendors, they said, mate, really appreciate you. You know, looks like what happened in the market's cooled right off. We wouldn't have even got that price now,
if you
which was the
had that
adjusted price if we didn't have a conversation.
Yep.
This is what agents, sort of a lot of agents miss, Dean. So hard conversations, whether it's with your colleagues, even family, mate. Like if people are prepared
let's not go
to get
that one. We all can have some of those. Yeah.
Look, people are prepared to go and get divorced,
Instead of
or go and get away from their partner and go and shack up with someone else before they'd have a hard conversation with their own partner first. So think about what I'm saying, because that's one thing. I've been working like long hours for a long time, but the balance outside work is what keeps you real, I think. Yeah.
Well, on that point, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matt. And if you've got any other questions, give me a buzz and I'll get you a hold of so that you can text him or call him.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank
Cheers.
You.